Here we are, folks,
Out with Mr. Rob Wootton. How are we doing, Rob?
I'm brilliant, mate.
Look at there.
Absolutely brilliant.
Let's have a little
Look at him, pretty little
shimmy in.
fish.
Yeah, rear at makings today. Look at that. Nice fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold him up for us. Lovely. And what are we doing, Rob?
We're fishing Wagler. I come on this lake quite a bit.
What lake is it?
This is Lake 3 at Makins. There's a lot of fish. I'd say that is the average stamp in here. Sort of like £2, £3 carp.
Yeah, good spot.
I come in here quite a lot in the summer when I want to mess around with a few things. I tell you what, I catch a load of fish on here in the summer fishing pellet big floats, 8mm pellets, splashing a big waggler in, fish attacking the bait sort of like a foot deep. And I suppose that's the same as a lot of venues up and down the country. Obviously when the weather's warm the fish are feeding pretty aggressively. But as you can see today it's totally different. Got a little float on.
Yeah.
Loads of
Fishing on the bottom.
line beneath the float. I'm fishing on the deck. I'm casting the float out. Fishing a lot more with a lot more finesse. Smaller pellets, feeding less. So only sort of like 2 pellets going in at a time. And sort of like waiting for bites, being a little bit more patient. It's sort of like less crash bang wallop fishing. It's more just softly taking each fish as it comes. We're catching a few, aren't we? We're catching a few.
To be fair, it's a really nice, comfortable way of fishing, isn't it?
It is. We've picked a peg, obviously, with the wind off us back. Makes fishing a float loads easier. But I imagine in a match situation, on this lake, there's sort of like 15 pegs on this side, so there's probably in theory 15 pegs, half the lake, where you'd be able to fish this style. Maybe in a match you'd have a bomb set up for fishing underneath or fishing a more static bait. I just think as the water clears,
Falling bait.
falling bait through the water.
So before you cast out, let's have a look at your float. What you're talking about then? So
Right,
we're not using
come
a
on.
pellet waggler.
Focus on the float.
Yeah. So we've got. Let me grab him.
Grab him.
Crystal waggler,
Yeah.
straight waggler, bit nice load in there. Snap swivel. Couple of slot shot there, holding it on. What
Yeah.
are they, 8s either side?
Yeah, number 8's either side. Sometimes I'd use float stops.
Yeah.
But I like them slot shot. I just use them for everything. You know, I just simple better.
Yeah.
I ain't messing around finding a float stop in my box. I've got a hook length.
Quite a long one.
Yeah, 2 foot. 'Cause I'm fishing quite deep. Size 18 hook, banded 6mm.
So as simple as it gets, really.
Mega simple. I've got one number 10 down the line.
Just to sort of.
So I can tighten, just so the line isn't falling in a big loop. Really, it's just got some weight down there.
So you're just gently casting it out.
Cast it out, sort of just past where I'm fishing.
And what you're doing, just pinging
2 pellets,
2 pellets.
you know, and I'm trying to get them as tight as I can, but I ain't too fussed if they're just to the side or just short. As long as I'm not spraying loads of feed just past.
Are you fishing nice and light, or?
Fish 012 hook length, so I suppose rod and line work, obviously you need to be a bit more robust than what you would on a pole. I'd probably be fishing, what, 010 on a pole?
Yeah.
Maybe 012 on a pole, to be fair, but I just think not had any issues today.
I mean, using a nice soft short rod, aren't you? And
Nice soft little short rod.
drag set on your reel.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem really. I've got £4 main line, that is important. A really thin main line, it's 016. 016 main line, because obviously when you're using a lighter float, although the wind's sort of off us back, it's sort of sideways as well. And with a heavier main line, it'll just be dragging the float a little bit too much.
Yeah. Sorry, we've got there's a creature underneath my foot.
You're scared of the rat, aren't you?
Yeah, I hate them.
I hate them as well, mate. But I've got a pallet. I've got these slabs in between me and them.
He's just licking my foot.
Is he?
Yeah.
Just put a few more swim steams down
He's
there.
ever so tiny.
I'll make a trail of swim steam pellets to your feet
He's ever
from
so
that little
tiny.
hole. Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't like them. I think I might go around the other side, isn't it? But you've just been ever so patient, aren't you? Oh,
Yeah,
he's coming
well,
out for him. He's coming out for him.
Is he?
Yeah, he's coming out for him.
Come on, Roland. Come on, Roland.
Oh. I'm going around here.
I hate them as well, mate. I hate them.
So yeah, so getting back to the serious stuff. Fishing, just real patient, aren't you?
Yeah.
Casting
What we're
around
fishing,
your peg a bit.
25 metres out, but you know, I'm not being overly. The bottom's really flat here, so I haven't got to pick a spot the size of a dustbin lid and actually hit that spot every time. The bottom's really flat, so I know that when I chuck out, and as long as I'm in the area of sort of my van, I'm going to be fishing. Yeah, I'm going to be fishing quite effectively. So like 2 pellets each chuck out. Try and get them near me float. They were nowhere near.
I'm going to say, where did they go?
Absolutely. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I just close my eyes and just catapult them out.
But in all seriousness, whenever you seem to group them tight, you get a bite, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. If you can, obviously it's great to group a few pellets, keep plopping in the same space. But obviously when it gets colder, I'm not too sure whether hammering that one little spot is right. I think because we're fishing the bait's falling through the water all the time.
Yeah.
We're able to pick fish off from all around the peg a little bit. Whether that's by design or just by the nature of how we're fishing. And I just think you catch. Oh no.
Well, it's going to be real time.
No, it won't. Tangle it. I just think you catch. Got tangled. You catch more effectively throughout the day because you're obviously
Picking them up.
you're picking them off from around your peg. I reckon he's salvageable.
So this is proof even the best anglers get entangled.
This is my first tangle since 19. There we go.
And the fact that you've done it,
1993, I think.
and the fact that you've done it live on camera makes it all the more special.
Yeah, and I'll save that when my dad gave me my first fishing rod.
So obviously another thing that makes casting effortless, obviously you're using a nice 016 line as you've already said.
Look. I'll tell you what I want to see.
Right to the brim, don't
Right to the brim. I go obviously do a hell of a lot of coaching. The amount of people that I take out and they've got the reels underfilled, it's still one of the biggest the biggest problems.
I mean that just peels off there.
And it just peels off. It means that you can use a lighter float, which is obviously your presentation's better. You wouldn't have got that with the camera, would you?
I tried, but
yeah, you tried, but a bit too.
probably failed.
Yeah.
It was very aggressive.
You can use a lighter float. You'll catch more fish when you use a lighter float, and you'll cast further. You know, it's the same whether you're feeder fishing or float fishing. It doesn't matter. You just fill your line to the brim, and it'll just make your fishing a lot easier.
Is there any reason why you're using a straight float rather than an insert? Or obviously you really like them floats because they're really compact, aren't they?
They're really compact. While I'm fishing, Joe, just grab one out of my box, or grab one of those in that bag, because obviously the weight I think is really important.
Right. Hang on. Hunters. Nice bit of camera work here, lads.
Right. So,
what floats are they first and foremost?
They're
middies, are they?
yeah,
Midi
fat boys. Right. The reason these are good and the reason they cast well is because if you look at the weight.
Right, hang on. Let's focus on.
Go on, then focus on them.
Yeah.
There's the weight, and then the little eye, the swivel eye to attach your link, is right next to the weight.
Very compact.
There's no spigot that you have to attach your weight, a float rubber to, or anything else to.
Yeah.
So what that means is they're very compact and they fly like a bomb. They fly so straight, it's unbelievable. They don't dart off to the side. There's nothing kicking them off to the side. The next reason I like the straight float rather than an insert is because, was that right down there? Or was that a reed? That is because I much prefer to dot a thicker bristle down than to have more of a thinner bristle showing. I think you get better readings, better bites, and me personally, I think I can read it a little bit better. That's just how I fish. And with a 6mm pellet, I would probably have to have, if I was laying sort of like 4 inch of line on the bottom, which I might do a little bit later on, I would probably have to have an inch of thinner bristle sticking out. It's not what I want to do. I'd rather dot a thicker bristle down so I get the buoyancy of sort of like, what's that, quarter of an inch?
Yeah.
Quarter of an inch. Still the same buoyancy. I'm looking at a little dot then in the lake, and when that disappears,
You're on.
I'm in business.
So, one final tip,
Yeah.
which I absolutely love, and I keep going on about it, is how you plumbed up.
Oh, okay then, go on.
So let's quickly reel in, show the folks that,
Hang on,
because
hang on. Oh, this is a good catch though. This everything, the stars are aligning.
the stars are
Stars are
aligning from
aligning.
a real-time fit.
Stars are aligning. Drifting a little bit.
Obviously, you know, some people probably get a little bit confused about plumbing up with waggle fishing. It's ever so simple, isn't it? But this little trick you showed me earlier. I
Yeah,
thought was
obviously.
brilliant.
Really thought we'd get one.
Come on, bring it back in, because
Right. Obviously, you need to know the contours of your swim. What I don't want to do, especially in the winter, is crash a really big heavy plummet in my peg. I'm going to scare the fish before I start it. So
obviously you've got a banded.
I've tied my
Yeah, you've got a band on there.
yeah.
Let's just get inside of this. I think this is ingenious. I mean you only thought it up this morning, didn't you?
No. This is something that's just been buzzing around in my head for like weeks and weeks and weeks.
Whoa. So what we put
Careful that rat. Right, I've got a banded.
Yeah, you got your band on there.
Yeah, got my band on my little hair rig. So, number 4 slot shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could use a number 2, or if you can get some bigger slot shot, great.
Yeah.
But them cylindrical sort of shot. Look.
How good is this?
They fit in the band, Joe. They fit in the band. So with my little girly fingers, I can
Look
poke
at
that in
that.
that band.
And plumb up with that.
And plumb up with that, so I get a nice little reading. So obviously, when I chuck out, if my float isn't set deep enough, the float sinks, and if the float's set too deep, the float pops up, and obviously fine tune it.
I think that's brilliant.
And then obviously, when you want to start fishing, you pop it out, put a pellet on, chuck him out, you're away you go. Fucking, I'm like electric.
So, banded pellet.
Banded pellet.
Loose feeding 2 pellets. I think everyone should subscribe, Rob, do you? This is tips that you're just not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I think they'll subscribe to this, then obviously go and subscribe to mine as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it?
I think I'll put your link in below.
Yeah, do it. So there you go, banded pellet, whack him on, 5 foot deep,
Out into the lake.
gently lob him out. I'm fishing a little rod rest because I like to just place my rod in the rest.
So you can be nice and accurate.
2 or 3 pellets just short of the float. Slight wind, I think that's important, a real slow wind, because it just helps straighten out the line between your float and your pellet. You're only dragging your float towards you, probably 6 inch, but it just helps straighten that float, that line out.
Well, I think it's time to get the camera back out, Rob. But thanks for those few tips.
No problem, mate.
And we'll see you again soon, folks.
Tight lines, everybody.
Get on the waggler.